Hello students, welcome back in electronics lecture. We have started the chapter is study of components. In this chapter we had studied all the components which are the basic components in the electronics. Okay. So in the previous lecture we had seen the transformer. There are three types of transformer: step up transformer, step down transformer and mutual transformer, isn't it? So in step up transformer what happened? Number of turns of the primary is greater than number of turns of the secondary, isn't it? Is called as the secondary transformer. But in primary transformer it is exactly opposite. Means I have drawn the diagram also. These are called number of turns of the primary, and these are called the number of turns of the secondary. These are what? Number of turns. How many number of turns is the coil? Okay. So this is the number of turns of the primary. These are the number of turns of the secondary. Both are equal. It is called as a mutual transformer. Then if this number of turns of the primary is greater, then it is called a secondary transformer. Then if the secondary is greater, then it is called as a primary transformer. All these concepts you have cleared in the previous lecture. Okay. What we have seen the next is its current ratio, voltage ratio. From that current ratio, what ratio we have seen? That is the number of turns of the primary is equal to number of turns of the secondary, which is equal to voltage source of the secondary is equal to voltage source of the primary, isn't it? All these equations we have seen. That is the number of turns of the primary is equal to number of turns. NS means what? It is the number of turns of the secondary. And NP means what? Number of turns of the primary. Means what? These primary windings are there. It's called as the NP. Then the secondary windings are there. It is called as the NS. Then voltage across this is called as the NP. This is the primary. Therefore, this voltage across this is what? Vp. And voltage across this is called as the Vs. Exactly same, the current across this is called as the Is. If current flow through this, then it is called as the Is. And current through this is called as the Ip. Okay, so we have seen the relation also about that. The number of turns of the primary upon number of turns of the secondary is equal to voltage across primary is equal to voltage across secondary. But here see, current across secondary is equal to is upon current upon primary. So you have to remember this equation. Here primary is there, but the current about current it is exactly opposite. Therefore it will be secondary. Here secondary, therefore current will be primary. Why I am telling you like this equation again? Because at this time of solving the example, if the current ratio is given as 1:3, if the current ratio is 1:3, then you have to take it as a 3:1 or any number. It's not only 1:3. Any number if it is given in the example, if it is 1:7, 1:6, 1:5, any number it is given, then you have to take opposite of that, because here current of secondary is higher than the current of primary. Therefore, Is is in the numerator and Ip is in the denominator. I want to remind you this equation once again because of this only. Okay, all of you understand this? It is asked in some examples that directly current ratio is given 1:3. Then at that time you take the value as it is, Is upon Ip. If Is is there, then you will take 1. Ip is there, you will take 3. So the example will be wrong. Therefore, you have to take, whenever 1:3 is given, you have to take opposite of that 3:1. If it is 1:7 is given, then you have to take 7:1. Okay, I want to remind you this concept because current of the secondary is higher than the current of the primary. Okay, this much concept was there only want to tell you. Next of that, we have seen the voltage ratio, current ratio of the transformer. Okay, next we are going to see the efficiency of the transformer. What is the efficiency? Yes, efficiency of transformer. Efficiency means what? How much it is efficient. How much our transformer is efficient to work is called as efficiency. So efficiency is nothing but its ratio of, you can write the formula like this, efficiency is equal to, it is the ratio of power out divided by power in into 100%. Okay, so efficiency can be write in this form, that is the P out upon P in into 100% is called as the efficiency. So how can you define the efficiency? Efficiency is nothing but it is the ratio of the output power upon input power into 100% is called as the efficiency. But theoretically it is the formula that it is 100%, but practically it is not possible because transformer have the coil. So coil have nothing but its conductor. So conductor always, yes, induce the voltage, therefore current is flow through that and there is a loss of current. Okay, therefore there is a not 100% efficiency in the transformer as a practically. Theoretically we can tell that it is 100% efficient, transformers are 100% efficient, we can tell it in theoretical. But in practical actually what happened, whenever we induce the voltage, transformer coil is there. Coil means what? It is a conducting material. Conducting means what? Current and voltage is flowing that. So if it induces the voltage, then current will flow through that. And there is a loss of current. And that current is lost. Therefore, it is not 100%. Okay? If current will be not lost, then there will be 100% efficiency is there. Okay? So that what happened in that voltage and current is flow. Therefore, there is a loss of current and therefore there is a loss in efficiency. So this formula is practically, if it is corrected, but theoretically it is correct, but practically it is not correct, then practically the formula become like this: P in minus losses divided by P in, which is equal to efficiency. Practically the formula becomes like this: there is a loss in the voltage current in the output, therefore it can be written like this. This is what practically efficiency is. There is a loss in P in upon into 100%. Okay, efficiency is lost in the input voltage. The formula will be like this. Therefore, the efficiency have not the 100% loss, it have the zero loss. If it is 100%, then it is a zero loss. If it is not 100%, then some amount of current will be flow through that, and it is the loss in the transformer. There are types of losses. How many transformers have? How many losses that we are going to see today? Efficiency that we have seen. Now we are going to see the loss or the losses, types of losses in the transformer. Yes, types of losses in transformer. Types of losses in the transformer. First type of loss in the transformer is the copper loss. Yes, copper loss. Second type of loss in the transformer is the eddy current. Eddy current loss, eddy current loss, and the third type is the hysteresis loss. Okay. What happens in the copper loss? You know the transformer is made up of what? These are what? It is a coil. Okay. So here magnetic field is produced. What is produced? Yes, magnetic field is produced between these two coils. Okay. So these two primary number of turns, secondary number of turns are not directly connected. Okay. So it is connected with the help of this magnetic field. Isn't it? AC voltage is given. Always transformers AC input is what? AC voltage. Transformer required input as a AC voltage. Always we give the AC to the transformer. AC means what? It is alternating current. At that time what happen? It is wound with the copper wire. Okay. So in the copper loss means what happened? The wire is wound. Copper wire is wound. Therefore there is a loss of that wire, loss in the primary winding and the loss in the secondary winding, because winding is done with the help of this copper wire. Therefore it is called as a copper loss. All of you understand? Copper loss का म्हणायचा because that coil have the wire wound and that wire is of copper. The wire कशाचे असते? copper चे असते. Therefore there is a loss in the primary winding and secondary winding. There is a loss in the primary winding and the secondary winding of the transformer, that then it is called as the copper loss. Means what? Primary and secondary. What happened? Copper wire. It is made up of copper wire and it is lost at the primary and secondary. Therefore it is called as the copper loss. Okay. Next loss is what? Eddy current loss. Eddy current means what? Why it is called eddy current? The diagram is shown like this. There are two types of current flow through that. Eddy current flux is prepared and applied current is there. So these two current are exactly opposite of each other. Therefore there is a loss of current. Means what? Whenever AC signal is given, here AC signal is given, and when AC signal is given to the transformer, it induces the voltage when power is given. Okay. When it is induced the voltage means what? Current will pass through that. When current will pass through that, at that time that current will be exactly opposite of that what? Eddy current. Because the path of the eddy current is in opposite direction and applied current is in opposite direction. Therefore there is a loss of current at that time, and that loss of current is called as the eddy current. Okay. And this eddy current is occur because of the induced voltage in the transformer. Because of what? It induced the voltage. And current will flow through the circuit. Therefore it is opposite. Which is opposite? Yes, eddy current flow and applied current flow. These two are in opposite direction. These flow are in the opposite direction. Therefore there is a loss of current, and that current is called as the eddy current, which is shown in the diagram. Okay. This is what the coil. Okay. So this is the coil. Across this we can measure the eddy current. So this one dotted line is in this direction and one dotted line is in the downward direction. Both have the opposite direction. So one is what? Eddy current flux, and second is what? Applied current flux. So these are both in opposite direction. Therefore there is a loss of current, and that current is called as the eddy current. Okay. So this eddy current is due to induced voltage. All of you understand this? This is a very simple concept. Last is what? The hysteresis loss. Hysteresis means what? This loss is due to what? Power is due to the maximum power is there, and maximum power loss, hysteresis loss is also called as the maximum power loss, because what happens in the hysteresis law, whenever there is a power is applied, okay, this loss is caused due to the wastage of the power. It is occurred due to the wastage of power. Hysteresis law is occurred due to the wastage of the power, and hysteresis law results from the additional power need to reverse. What happens here in the hysteresis law? This loss is due because of the wastage of the power. If power is wastage, then that loss is called as the hysteresis law. Okay, to balance between that circuit and your power, you have to give the magnetic plus. You have to give the magnetic field. Okay, if you balance between the magnetic field, then there is no loss of the power. If it is not balanced between this magnetic field, the power is lost, and that power is called as the hysteresis law. Okay, hysteresis law is nothing but the wastage of the power, and that hysteresis law results from the additional power need to reverse the magnetic field, and that is the called as the hysteresis law. All of you understand? This is a very simple concept. Last concept of your this chapter. Here your chapter study of component finished. It have the two parts. The first part of this component has finished here. Okay. So this chapter contains 45% of marks from the paper 1. Okay. 45% syllabus. 45% questions will be asked on this chapter. It is a very big chapter. This is only one part of your one part of this study of components. Okay, there are two parts. Like this study of component chapter is there. There is a two-part study of component part 1, study of component part 2. So part 1 is finished here. There are so many concepts to be seen in this chapter. First we have seen the resistor, its type of resistor, fixed resistor and variable resistor. Again there is a types of fixed resistor, and again there is a types of variable resistor. We have seen with its diagram and its applications, and what is the unit of the resistor, and how to calculate the resistor in the color code. That is PP, ROI, go to Bombay Wire Gateway. That shortcut was there. The number of colors are there. That is the how to calculate the resistor we have seen. Next is the capacitor. There are types of capacitor: fixed capacitor and variable capacitor. Again there is a type of fixed capacitor, and again there is a type of variable capacitor with its diagram and its application. We have seen all those in the capacitor. Similarly, inductor. Inductor's types, we have seen its SI unit, how to measure an inductor. Then next we have seen the transformer. Transformer's types we have seen, and we have seen its ratio, voltage ratio, current ratio, and what is the formula, what is the series capacitor, parallel capacitor, that also we have seen, and the formulas for the transformer also we have seen. Okay, from that formula you can solve the examples that I have given you as a homework in the Zoom lecture. So this much part was remain of this chapter, that is the losses of the transformer. There are three types of losses. Before going to loss, we have seen the efficiency. Efficiency of transformer means what? Whatever output we are getting and whatever input we are giving is the ratio of the P out upon P in, means output power upon input power, the ratio into 100% is called as the efficiency, and it is theoretically possible. Okay, 100% efficiency is possible only in the theory. but actually in practical it is not happened, because what happened, AC is always given to the transformer. AC means what? Alternating current. Whatever current comes from the MACB, that current we are giving to the transformer, and that current is not always the fixed current or fixed voltage. It is always in the variation form. Therefore what happened, the property of the coil is that it induces the voltage, therefore the current is flow, and when current is flow, that is a loss of current. Okay, so much loss of current is there, therefore it is not practically 100% possible. If it is 100%, there is a 0% loss. Okay, if it is 100%, then 0% loss. If it is not 100%, then it is not what practically possible. So practically we have another formula for the efficiency is what? P in upon P in minus loss, input power minus loss divided by P in into 100% is the what? Practically efficiency, and theoretical efficiency is P out upon P in into 100%. Okay, this is the efficiency. Then how many losses are there in the transformer? There are three types of losses. First loss is what? Copper loss. Why it is copper loss? Because copper wire is wound on the transformer, and that copper wire is lost in the primary and the secondary of the transformer, therefore it is called as a copper loss. Okay. Second is what? Eddy current loss. Eddy current loss is nothing but whenever AC is given, it induces the voltage, current will flow in the circuit, and that current will flow in the circuit means what? The current is produced, and that current have the loss. Therefore, that loss is called as the eddy current loss. In eddy current loss, what happened? Two currents are in opposite direction, eddy current flux and applied current. Okay, so these two currents are exactly opposite in direction. So because of the opposite direction, what happened? Current will produce in that, and that current is called as the eddy current loss. Okay, so last is the hysteresis loss. Hysteresis loss happened because of the wastage of the power. If you want to control that hysteresis loss, then you have to control the magnetic field produced between the two coil of the transformer. Okay, then your loss will be removed. That loss is called as the hysteresis loss. Okay, all of you understand? This is a very simple concept, a very easy chapter that I have given you the questions also on this chapter solve, and objectives also I have given you in the Zoom lecture. So students, try to understand all this concept by watching these videos and solve the examples and questions that I have given you. Objectives also I have given you in your homework. Okay, all of you understand this? I will stop it here. Thank you.